Hi, my name is Märta McWhorter and I am a 19-year-old girl from Stockholm. I'm taking this English course because I'm very eager to complete my high school diploma, and this is actually the first combined course I'm taking. I chose English as my starting subject because I really like and enjoy learning new languages. Today, I'm going to talk about the TED Talk 4 Reasons to Learn a New Language by Märta McWhorter. In this talk, McWhorter explains why learning languages is more important than ever. As the title suggests, he gives us 4 clear and compelling reasons, but he also encourages us to see languages as something much bigger than just words, a way to understand people, cultures, and even ourselves. At the beginning of the talk, McWhorter points out that English has become the world's universal language, even though Mandarin Chinese has more native speakers. He also explains that by the end of the century, more than 6,000 of the spoken languages today may be reduced to just a couple of hundred. And that raises an important question. If so many languages are disappearing, why should we even bother to learn new ones? The first reason is that languages are the key to truly understanding a culture. To fully experience a culture, you need to understand the language that shapes it. Language influences how we think, how we express ourselves, and even how we perceive the world. Each language reflects a unique way of organizing ideas. For example, he mentions that in some languages, objects are gendered. A table can be considered feminine in French or Spanish, only because of the grammatical ending of that word. These linguistic differences can sub the shape of speakers of those languages see the world around them. I can relate to this from my own experience. I know people here in Sweden who don't speak Swedish, and I know some people who speak Swedish, but not fluently. I can clearly see how much harder it is for them to fully engage in the Swedish culture. Without the language, it's so much more difficult to understand traditions, humor, and everyday social cues, and also the deeper identity of the society they live in. The second reason he mentions is that being bilingual is healthy for the brain. According to McWhorter, research shows that speaking multiple languages can help prevent dementia, which in my opinion sounds pretty encouraging. He also explains that bilingual people are more likely to be better multitaskers, which is a huge advantage in today's society, where we constantly have multiple things at once competing for our attention. Of course, like many healthy habits, learning a new language can seem difficult or even boring at first. I personally agree that it can be challenging, but I don't think it's boring at all. For me, learning new languages is fun and rewarding because it opens doors to new cultures and makes it easier to understand different worldviews. McWhorter even compares speaking a new language to driving on the other side of the road. It forces you to kind of adjust to different word orders and new structures. The last reason that he gives is that learning a language is easier today than it was maybe 50 years ago. Back then, the only real option was to sit in a classroom with a teacher, but now we have endless resources available instantly, like apps, online courses, videos, and more. So why not just curl up in your sofa at home and study away a new language? In conclusion, Märta McWhorter's TED Talk reminds us that learning a new language is both meaningful and valuable in many different ways. He shows that language is not just a tool for communication. It's kind of a doorway into culture, a way to understand how other people think, and even a way to see the world differently. He also explains that being bilingual strengthens our minds, helping with multitasking and even protecting our brain health later in life. McWhorter also empathizes that today we have more opportunities than ever to start learning. With online resources, apps, and instant access to information, it becomes so much easier and so much more interesting to try to study a new language. And at the same time, many languages are disappearing as English continues to dominate globally, which makes it even more important to appreciate, value, and learn the languages that still exist, or not maybe learn right away, but try to learn. So overall, his message is clear. Learning a new language is not only beneficial, but also something we should take advantage of. Now, while we still have the chance. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I really hope you enjoyed it.